What's good, neighborhood? And welcome back to another episode of Warframe Wednesday. Now, for anyone actually keeping an eye on the YouTube channel, last week's episode featuring Inaris will be up by the end of the day today. I just got to make sure I have all the information. Updated, and make sure I've got the abilities and augments correct for you. But with that being said, I guess it seems we're having ourselves another theme here, going from Sand Dog to Crazy Cat Lady. Today's target, of course... oh boy. Today's target, of course, is none other than Khora. Now, a couple of interesting bits of trivia before we get started with acquiring Khora's blueprints and her abilities and everything. Firstly, when Khora was initially introduced to the game, this was back in, I believe this was back in April, I want to say, of 2018. So, basically, back when I first started playing Warframe, Khora was the one that was the most recently introduced. At least at that time, so, an interesting little bit of coincidence there. But on top of that, as I'm sure you'll see once we actually get into her abilities, yep, April 20th, so literally, Khora was released while I was in the midst of moving from Washington to Texas. Hey, what's good, Blue? Good to see you. But yeah, the second bit of trivia, which I'm sure you guys will see, once we get into her abilities, is that even before the current theme that you'll recognize or that you'll notice with Khora, her initial design was actually meant to be more spider-like. I could be wrong, but I remember reading it somewhere. I think it was on the Warframe wiki, that she was meant to be more of a spider-type Warframe. But anyway, before we jump to the relay, let's go about talking about how we get this Warframe going. So, excuse me. Once you finish the once you finish a certain mission with Cephalon Cimeris, you'll wind up unlocking a new game mode, or you'll wind up unlocking a game mode known as Sanctuary Onslaught, where it's basically like a survival mode, but the way you advance through the stages is killing as many enemies as fast as possible with your chosen Warframe. Basically, keeping your efficiency high. You'll get Khora's component blueprints and her main blueprint through Sanctuary Onslaught, and if you're lucky, if the drop tables favor you enough, then at the bare minimum, you'll need to do it twice, and you'll need to clear at least 8 stages in the Sanctuary Onslaught because of how the prize rotations work. But that's a little bit more meta, that's a little bit more in-depth than we need to go. Just know that if you want to farm the blueprints for Khora, jump into Sanctuary Onslaught with your strongest Warframe, kill as many enemies as fast as possible, and make it all the way to stage 9. So that way you have earned the rewards for everything up to that point. Make it all the way through to stage 9 before you either lose or let the timer run out on your own. But you have to get basically mission completion for it. With all that out of the way, let's jump to the relay and get us going on Khora's abilities. You know, something tells me that, like, something told me that copyright was one of the big reasons behind them changing up Khora's design. Excuse me. Okay, that's the boost. You know, they probably could. But anyway, let's go ahead and get our... Let's go ahead and get our punching bag set up. Now, Khora's passive ability, as you can see, not from the purple one, but from the other one, is that she comes immediately equipped with her own companion. Now, this larger cat that fights alongside you, Venari, Venari actually makes up a core component of... makes up a core component of one of her abilities. So, you know, if you're not careful and Venari gets knocked out, then that's a good 45 seconds that you're without that particular ability. But believe it or not, Venari's actually pretty useful. Yeah. Venari is useful. Get back here, kitty. Get back here. But anyway, Khora's first ability right out of the box is Whip Claw. Basic damage dealing. It comes out fast. It's relatively cheap to cast. And since it does impact damage, then you're pretty much going to be doing a good amount of knockback and knockdown to any opponents you tag with. Now, one particular mod that you can pick up for Khora, called Accumulating Whip Claw, what that'll basically do is continually increase the damage on that move. I believe if you hit like 3 or 4 enemies with it at the same time. So if you've got a bunch of enemies like gathered together, then you can just boom, keep tagging them with it, and the more you do, the faster you do, the damage is going to keep racking up. It's a simple starter move, but between the damage that you're doing with your normal weapons, plus the damage that Venari is doing, just, attacking on his own and, and fighting in tandem with you, you really can't go wrong with, occasionally cracking the whip in order to get those extra damage numbers up. Khora's second ability, once you get her to rank 3, Ensnare. Now, the best part about Ensnare, aside from the single target control, is that enemies within a certain distance will get pulled into the Ensnare, and thus you've got a wider range of crowd control there. But on top of that, with all those enemies pulled in close, boom! Land a Whip Claw, and look at that, I'm already getting, stupid critical damage. I'm sure y'all can see right there, just, number one, you can see immediately how those first two abilities will play off of each other. And even without the accumulating Whip Claw mod, you'll still have a good chunk of crowd control and damage mitigation ability just from those two. When you get to rank 3 with Khora, it's already gonna take off. Once you get her to rank 5, that is when you'll actually start picking up the first of the manual command abilities for Venari. Now you can set her companion, you can set her Kavat between 3 stances: protect, heal, and attack. Now heal, of course, is pretty straightforward. Venari, when Venari's not attacking on its own, will focus more on either finding healing items or using its own energy to keep your health in top condition. Protect uses Venari to generate a shield for you. And attack, well, yeah, attack. Now, just a quick heads up as far as controlling the ability itself. You hold the cast button in order to switch stances. And when you're aiming at an opponent, you tap it to have Venari focus on that opponent specifically. And you'll also notice as Venari attacks, you see the little chains that pop up to actually hold them in place. So the target's marked, the target's held, they're suffering from damage over time from the slash damage that Venari's dealing for you. And of course, crack the whip to keep the enemies in line, use Ensnare to keep everybody bundled up. You get the idea. So in a way, you could actually say that Ensnare is one of the subtle nods back to Khora's original spider design. But then, once you get Beauty and the Beast over here to rank 10, that's when you open up her final ability, Strangle Dome. Strangle Dome basically creates a cage of living chain that, again, captures and holds enemies. They'll suffer from damage over time while they're held from the electrified chains, but on top of that, anything caught in the Strangle Dome, Venari immediately goes for and starts attacking. Another great use for Strangle Dome actually comes in the form of the augment mod that you can get for it, Pilfering Strangle Dome, which basically allows you to loot additional items from enemies that you kill while they're hung up inside the dome. And also, as you can see from right here, when you have Khora with you, it's like when you use Khora, you can actually wind up having two companions on the field. So you can have Venari plus another Kavat, or even a Kubro, one of the canine companions, or even one of the mechanical sentinels. So that way you're skirting around the companion limit, and you've got even more versatility and even more utility with whatever builds you can go with. But, end of the day, when you've got Khora's entire kit going, like, at the end of the day, when you've got Khora's entire kit going, space control basically becomes the thing of the past. And that's when you're running on your own. But if you're running with a team, or let's just say, a team of 3 or even 4 Khoras, it turns into a zoo. But it's the kind of zoo that you would prefer to not be on the business end of. Excuse me. Now, before we actually jump into a live fire mission, let's go ahead and jump back to the arsenal real fast, so I can show you what I've got set up for as far as her mods go. Oh, before that, if you're on the lookout for some decent weapons for Khora, then as far as melee weapons go, look no further than the dual Karis. And the reason behind that is actually pretty simple. They're her signature weapons. And, as it stands, with more and more Warframes actually being set up to have certain weapons being their signatures, that usually means when you have those weapons equipped to that Warframe, they get an additional bonus. With Khora, of course, it's additional slash damage and additional attack speed. Hey, what's up, Chop? How's the day treating you so far?
Remember the old war, Operator? Order seems to have misplaced those memories.
Now, as I was mentioning earlier, Pilfering Strangledome, excellent augment for farming additional items. I mean, in instances where Warframe blueprints and certain mods actually drop from enemies, Pilfering Strangledome was basically my go-to as far as trying to farm those weapons and increase my chances. And that's what it is. When you max out the mod for accumulating Whipclaw, if you hit 3 enemies with it, with 1 Whipclaw, then you'll get an additional 35% damage boost stacked on to any Whipclaws that you cast after that. I don't know why I put this on a build that's focusing more on range, though. Well, we'll see. But as far as decent builds for Khora goes, if you've got a build that focuses more on trying to maximize your range, then you're going to get longer reach on the Whipclaw. You're going to get greater pull distance within snare, and of course you're going to get a larger Strangledome, which always comes in handy. But you also definitely want to go for... you also want to try and go for duration as well, so that you can make sure that the holds actually stick for a long time while you're piling on the damage. So what if we do something like Constitution... Then we go with... Oh, we already got continuity. Never mind. There's gotta be something I can do here. Hey, what's up, Andre? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Okay, let's get really stupid. Let's add Augur Reach to the mix. Alright, so really quickly, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and jump into a relic mission really fast. That will basically have us tackling the fight with a stupid range-focused Khora. Yeah, I want to make this quick, but I don't want it to drag out too long, so... Oh yeah, if you want to go for something for like fast damage, let's say, you know, if you're tackling an assassination mission, then yeah, fast damage, Whip Claw is going to be your best bet. And, you know, for more defense-minded missions, then, you know, go for Strangledome. Exactly. Okay, just really quickly though, with all the games out there that do loot boxes, with all the games out there that do loot boxes, the best thing I can say is that if they're even going to be in the game at all, then you'll want to copy the formula that Warframe has set up. Because not only can you find the relics in game, but you can also use in-game resources to increase the chances of any of the 6 random rewards from that particular relic actually showing up in your reward drop. I think I'll go ahead and max that out and equip it. Exactly. Anything that's not vaulted or basically, you know, retired and taken out of the drop table currently, you know, you put in enough time and you will eventually get it. Anyway,
don't forget the reactant, or to open that relic.
Let's begin. Oh, I don't have enough energy for ensnare already. Well, too bad for them.
Target is this location's computer system. Find and access the terminals.
Okay, someone else should have the data mass.
We need to destroy
There we go.
the reactor. The reactor will have tight security. Watch out for enemy patrols.
Get you out of the way.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
No, you don't get to do that. Needless to say, if you're using Khora on a team, there we go. Got a nice large cage for everybody. But yeah, if you're using Khora on a team, things can get wild.
That's the reactor. Expose its core and destroy it.
Oh.
That's it. Now get out of here.
Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention about the Whip Claw when I was doing the demo and the relay. Even if you don't tag, even if you don't tag an enemy directly, you know, the little radial burst off of that can actually damage any enemies in the area. And that right there is it's kind of a play off of the simple fact that when you actually crack a whip, you're creating a localized sonic boom. Alright, let's get down here to the landing platform. Dang. Didn't get what I was looking for. We can't go wrong with having another Atlas Prime blueprint.
Another job well executed.
Let me go ahead and jump out of this squad really fast and set it back to solo. Because now with this range ability, or with this range build, we're really going to go and test Khora's worth. Let's find, not mobile defense, but I need just straight up defense. There we go. We'll go through maybe, we'll go through a good 5 rounds of defense here, you know, at least go to mission completion.
The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 5-round. Like this one is a 5-round mission.
For the Lotus.
Unfortunately, I'm not starting off with enough energy to cast the Strangle Dome, so I'm gonna need to modify my tactics a little bit. Okay, got just enough. Let it begin. It's a good thing I got the additional range on this, because now I can cover the defense objective from both heights. Oh, that's right, of course. The dome's not going to last very long because I didn't have any decent duration hooked onto it, just the range. Alright, everything's looking pretty good there. Oh wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, there we go.
Warframe is strong.
And basically anytime any of my attacks don't just immediately finish a skirmish, that's where my little furry companion comes in to finish the job. My furry, violent companion. Up. Cryopod's out of shields and taking damage. Let's fix that. Alright, that dome's gonna be staying up for another 15 seconds. Still get a lot done in the interim.
We've got signals singing the same song as our victim. Careful now.
Oh, do we now? Wonder if they're gonna show up before the wave's complete.
Extraction is ready.
Nope.
Unless you can handle more of the enemy.
Okay, so that was a good solid 5 waves of defense there. We're going to make one quick adjustment to this particular setup, and that is going to be swapping out Ye Old Whipclaw for... I want that duration. Not augur accord, but augur message. Nice. Very nice. We don't need intensify. Yeah, we're not really going to need intensify for this build. So...
Stand by while I analyze the intelligence profiles of the Grenier. Error, not a number. Did the operator enjoy this witticism?
I don't want to intensify, but I also don't want to... I don't want to gimp our range too dramatically. Ooh. I know what we'll do. Actually, yeah, if we are going to do that, then we'll have to... We will have to gimp the range ever so slightly. Oh, we can't. I don't have enough points for that. Well then, boom. Increase our max energy. And there we go. We have a true range build. Now, with this one right here, let's go for something insane in terms of damage. Let's see, Constitution. Let's change that out for change that out for power drift. Change out Augur Message for Augur Secrets. Adaptation Power Drift. Augur Secrets Transient Fortitude. Intensify. And now here, what we have is pretty much going to be a glass cannon build. Now, instead of taking this one on a mission, because I don't want to drag this out I don't want to make it seem like it's going to drag on too long, we're going to jump into the relay really fast to test out this demo and basically just show off, again, what Khora can do when you focus more on damage as opposed to, say, the range or the duration of her skills. So let's get in there. Oh, wait. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Let me turn it back around. And there we go. So, high damage build, accumulating Whip Claw. Let's yank everyone together and... Man. That was getting pretty mean there. Okay, that was kind of funny watching Venari go berserk in the background. And look at that, we already... Out of all these level 110s, we've already got ones that are just ready to drop. So, long story short, take it from Jan. If you want to build for defensive mission objectives, then go for building around Strangledome. If you want to build for quick damage, go for building around the Whip Claw. And with that said, I am going to go ahead and bring the stream down for the morning. To summarize my thoughts overall on the crazy cat lady warframe that is Khora. Khora is a fun frame she's a fun frame to use. Once you've got the Sanctuary Onslaught unlocked, start grinding your way through that so you can get Khora's blueprints. I honestly don't think you'll be disappointed when you actually go hands-on with her yourself. But with that being said, as I mentioned earlier, last week's episode featuring Inaros will be up on YouTube by the end of the day. But Until then, y'all be safe, have fun, happy grinding, and as always, stay good, neighborhood. I'll catch you next time.